out there, say hello. Just gonna wait till I see a couple of comments so that I know you're out there. Hey Ray, happy Monday. As happy as it could be to be a Monday. Anybody else out there? Harriet, hey. That's me. Hello, Victoria, Faria, Noemi, Selena, Cynthia, Dana, Malarkey Free Zone, Chandra, Alert and Oriented, P. Okay, we got some people. Hey, Avis. How you doing, girl? Jamarcus, aka Mickey, Tony. All right, all right. Hey, Jason. Okay, so I have a couple things I want to talk about today. Hey, David, Jay and Rob, LL. Let's start off with the BET Awards. Okay, if y'all saw the BET Awards, leave a comment and let me know what you thought. I thought that they were great. It was a little bit more like um like a video show in terms of like it was like videos made just for it because they weren't singing live from what I could tell. But I did love the production value. But there are two things I wanted to address. First of all, I want to address Marsai Martin and her wig. And people call themselves coming for her because of her wig and her teeth, which the teeth thing, I just really did not understand that. She has fabulous, perfect teeth. So what's the problem? And then for her hair, like, who cares how her hair looks? Like, I just feel like people need to let kids be great. She's still a child. She's 16 years old and she's grown and she's blossomed in front of our eyes with this beautiful young butterfly. But still, y'all need to spend your time talking shit about a 16-year-old and how her hair look in the middle of a pandemic. Like, get your life. Get your whole ass life. Okay, let me say hello to some more people. Hey, Kevin. Privy, my mom is on. Hey, mom. Robin, Game for Space, Jackie, Melanie, Calistine, Emerald, Rhoda from Virginia, Nicole. All right. I think I got everybody. I'm seeing a lot of people who did like the BT words. So Fandom and Bullshit says, I really enjoyed them, my fave in recent years. I agree too. Hey, Jennifer, enjoyed the BT Awards. Mary Lynn from Michigan. I did love Marsai's response though. She was like, I'm rich, bitch, with her little I'm gonna cry tears of richness, and I'm not mad at her at all. Okay. Hey, Mindy, Shayna. This is why child actors be messed up. You know what? Even if you had an opinion on Marsai's hair, did you have to say something about it? Could you not have kept your dumbass opinion to yourself? Every opinion don't have to go on the internet, jail. Especially when it comes to bullying a child. Hey, Mindy from Connecticut, Derek, Janice, Simply Toya, Bill from Texas. Princess, people care about the dumbest things. They really do. Hey, Sheila, Northern California, Anne Marie. Fandom and Bullshit. The obsession with bullying black women is disgusting and so prevalent. It makes me sick. It does. You know what? I really hate sometimes when I see a black woman is trending on Twitter. I'm like, okay, what's the bullshit today? What y'all dragging a black woman for today? Like, it's almost always on some negative stuff. And I'm just really sick of it. I just wish that take a day off from dragging black women. Please take a day off. Leave the kills alone. Hey, Donna from Illinois. Robin loves the BET Awards. Okano Miyaki fan says people love to be hurtful. It reminds me of the Gabby stuff. Yeah, Gabby Douglas when she won her Olympics, and even with Simone Biles, how they got on her hair. I'm like, just leave little black girls and their hair alone. Period. We gonna get to the auntie situation, P. The MD Terp says, I was so mad at people going after Marsai. Why are we doing this to black children, especially black females who are always having dealings? Exactly. Delante, period. I have my opinions, but I did not tweet. She's a child. It doesn't matter. That's all you have to do is just keep your mouth shut. Hey, Lorraine. Leandra from Texas. The Gabby hair was disgusting. You know, half the people want to sit up there and be all woke and shit and be like, oh, you know, people want to sit up there and drag you for this, drag you for that. Mind your own crown. How about that? Okay, moving on. Let's talk about, hey, Ted. Let's talk about, oh yeah, Phantom says constant bullying from Lizzo, Beyonce, Kamala, Marsai, Meghan Markle. I would add Tiffany Haddish too. They always dragging Tiffany Haddish over what? She be over there minding her business, just being funny. Let's talk about Beyonce though a little bit because Beyonce also catches a lot of heat. You know, there's this whole segment of woke Twitter, I guess, that's all about like outwoking each other, and people took issue with Beyonce's. I am assuming her new movie that's coming out on Disney Plus, Black is King, talking about it's capitalism and then black capitalism is problematic and you know all this other kind of stuff, and I'm just like, what's the problem? So if Beyonce does not have any kind of any kind of cultural appreciation for different cultures within the black diaspora, then y'all be mad about that. When she does show appreciation for it and she tries to put people up on game about it, then I'm mad about that. Y'all mad about how she spent her money. Well, how you spending your money? I'm telling you right now, if Beyonce is the problem, then I guess I'm a goddamn problem too. I don't have Beyonce rich problems, but I'm just not trying to sit up there and impress that crowd. Y'all can be over there and y'all can have that shit. Yeah, y'all pure. Y'all, what do you call yourselves? The communists or whatever the fuck it is that y'all call yourself with. Leave Beyonce alone too. I'm sure she's not. I'm sure she's not worried about it. Oh my gosh, Patrice says, don't forget about Quavinjane. Yes, Chrissy Teigen was. Oh, I still don't care for Chrissy Teigen behind that comment talking about that Quavinjane. How do you say that? Quavinjane was arrogant. Like, what is a little black girl supposed to do? Not be proud of herself, not hold her head high, not hold her chin up high. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. The MD Terp says, what the F is black capitalism now that some black folk have the ability to influence and add to their coin? It's a problem. No, white folks been doing it for years. Let us catch some. Okay, let some black people catch up with some cash. Y'all saw the Beyonce humanitarian award and all the stuff that she's done. I'm just struggling to find a problem with it. I'm just really struggling to find a problem with it. You know, we got a whole ass white supremacist Klansmen in the White House. And Beyonce's the enemy. Beyonce's the problem. Beyonce's the one y'all want to spend your time calling out. Fuck off with all that. Okay, let me talk about Van Jones. So Van Jones got put on blast for basically working with the White House on their funky ass little stuff that they're doing, their little fake criminal justice reform stuff they do, and working on the Justice Act that's a ripoff of the Justice and Policing Act, but is toothless. And so they were frying his ass up all day yesterday. I kept getting tagged in, and I'm like, what y'all want me to say? I've been told y'all Van Jones ain't shit, okay? So I don't even know what you want me to do about it. But I think it's interesting though because I think the real controversy is that he didn't disclose this relationship with the White House or with Congress when he has been touting these plans and things like that, and that does scream unethical to me. What y'all think? Don't y'all think that's wrong? Mm-hmm. And he sure did try to, clout chase and try to dog out Kamala Harris when she rightfully took a principled stand and said, I'm not going to come to this forum at an HBCU in which Donald Trump gets an award for criminal justice reform, which is absurd. No, I'm not going to do it. And black students were not allowed to attend except for a select few. So kudos to Kamala for doing what she always does, which is show a principled stand. And Van Jones has been exposed once again for the fraud that he is. Any other comments on Van Jones? And I'm going to move on to fake aunties of the world. Delonda says some of these people went to university and found out about socialism and think they woke. Some people didn't even do that much. Some people just reading books, child. And here's the thing. Okay, so I've seen this thing about reading lists. Oh, read with me, this and the other. But you know what I'm trying to figure out is how informed can you be if you're only reading a set of things that are curated to give you a specific outlook on it, right? So like if you read like 101 great things about socialism, then that's going to give you a perspective that's about socialism, but that's pro-socialism. But if you don't read the 100 bad things about socialism, then you're not going to have a balanced view of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people definitely curate the reading materials that they choose to look at so that they get a specific experience without being able to understand the broad spectrum of perspectives. I can say, like, for the stuff that I put out for Kamala Harris, I put out stuff that's positive about Kamala because everything else is fucking negative. But I've also at times presented like the disinformation debunking that I do. I will tell you what people are saying, and then I will give you the facts behind it so that you understand this is what people are saying and this is the truth behind it. But just have the entire spectrum of perspectives on things. One of my friends, I love her dearly, she was like, well, I want you to watch this movie on vaccinations, and it's called Anti-Vax. And I'm like, well, shit, of course if I watch a movie called Anti-Vax, I'm going to fucking hate vaccines. That's not a neutral thing to watch. So I'm like, this is my feeling. If you're going to change your whole ideology, if you're going to change your whole mindset on how you look at things, then at least make sure that you're reading a diversity of perspective on that topic and not just simply what is pro whatever that topic is. But I've spent too much time on that. Let me see. Leon says, so we want to spotlights be placed on black issues, but black folks can't make money. Silliness. Meanwhile, y'all saw all those really woke ass commercials on the BET Awards, Nissan, who else? Everybody and their mama had some woke commercials. So all these companies are profiting off of wokeness, right? Corporate responsibility. It's actually a thing. And yeah, black people can't I don't want to say get in on it, because I believe that like what's animating Beyonce, for instance, is very sincere. So I don't even want to say get in on it, but I just mean like, why is it that we count black people's coins? Meanwhile, everybody else over here making money hand over fist. Jeff Bezos, come on. Bill Gates, all these other people is making all this kind of money, but whose coins do we count? What is his name? Warren Buffett, but we count Oprah's coins. We count Beyonce's coins. Count some of these white folks' coins and worry about that. Okay, hey Michelle, hey Deanna. Let's see what else. Delonda says, I hate fake woke bandwagon Twitter. Listen, if you that's your judge, I mean, if you woke, cool, that's fine, whatever. But just know that I'm not looking for your approval. You're not my gatekeeper. If I'm asleep, give me my sleep number, bitch, because I'll be asleep all day, all night. I'm not gonna just go and say whatever the fuck to try to appeal to woke Twitter when they full of shit half the time. Woke Twitter be beefing with each other half the time. They be canceling each other half the time. So why the hell am I gonna try to seek validation from them? Hello? Van Jones is so canceled since 2015. Hey, Robin. Let's see. He claimed today he didn't even go to the White House to work on police reform. You don't have to be physically in the building. Come on, Van Jones. Quit playing games. Quit playing games. You know that there's teleconferences and all kind of shit. Do you think CNN knew? I'm sure they did. They're not stupid. Anyone remember that Hillary supporters comment over Amy Cooper? I don't know what you're talking about, Britt, there. All he had to do was say he worked on the bill. Exactly. Conflict of interest. He's been pro Bernie and anti Harris for some time. Are you talking about Van Jones, or who are you talking about? Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's see what else y'all talking about. Then I'm gonna move on. Hey, Pam. Research people, places, and stuff. Right. Yep. I know everybody gets information from YouTube and from social media, and I'm not saying don't get it, but I'm just saying be critical thinking in how you receive information. Think about the lens in which something is being presented to you. When I present stuff, I'm telling you I'm pro Kamala, duh. So and a lot of times people just disregard what I'm saying because they want to be anti Kamala, even though what I'm saying is facts. Okay, well, but you want to take everything that somebody says that's negative as face value. Come on. Solanda says, one of my friends told me to read Gaddafi's Green Book. It was filled with so much propaganda shit. Right. I mean, come on, man. Come on. What do you think about Amanda Seales? I think she did an okay job. I mean, the thing I didn't like is I didn't like the Kente comment about, Kente patronizing. That's where that woke shit, that's where you lose me. Because, again, you focusing on the wrong shit. They passed the whole last Justice and Policing Act in the House. No comment on that. So, I don't like that shit. People just be trying to... It's low-hanging fruit. They go for the punchline. They go for the low-hanging fruit. They go for the woke Twitter points. and I'm not impressed by it. But other than that, I think she did fine. Let's see. Yes, wondering. Robin says, yes, wondering how many black people are on their executive boards and board of directors. Probably not many. We know that. And they need to put some on there though. And stop putting black people in just the diversity or the human resources or the corporate responsibility categories. Black people have skills beyond that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being black in those spots, but I'm saying that they have certain people have their black categories that they are willing to put executives in instead of over profit and loss segments. Let me put it like that. They don't tend to put black people over profit and loss segments of their company. They want to put them over the figurehead, over the face of the company type of things. Let's see. All right. So let's move on to Jonathan Capehart. Because everybody want to talk about Aunt Gloria jail. Everybody want to talk about it. Listen. Here's my thing. I don't know who Aunt Gloria is, if there is an Aunt Gloria. He says it's an Aunt Gloria. That's fine. You know what? And what he even says about what Aunt Gloria says, honestly, doesn't even sound all that far-fetched. I'm not even going to lie. It doesn't sound all that far-fetched. But here is my question. And this is where I feel like we have a breakdown in the media and the role of the media. The role of the media doesn't see a role for themselves that involves actually educating people or informing people. They don't see a role for themselves in actually pushing back on narratives that are incorrect. And so that's my problem, because to me, if you call yourself a journalist, and it was an op-ed, and so I understand there is definitely an appetite in the Washington Post and the New York Times for anything that's anti-Kamala. Hey, not just here for the comments. There's an appetite for that. You know, there's an appetite for the great white hope of Elizabeth Warren, especially for black people. Yes, massa, I really want a Warren to be my savior, massa. I'm not saying that every black person that supports Elizabeth Warren has that attitude, but I'm going to say that I see a lot of white is right attitudes from these Warren supporters. These black ones, the blacks, the blackies. And I'm just confused because they're not fact-based. So when I read Jonathan Capehart's article, I'm like, well, nothing that you're saying is fact-based. Nothing that Aunt Gloria says is based on facts. Because Aunt Gloria, allegedly, her position is that, well, we need Warren because she's qualified and experienced and we don't have time for training. Okay, well, hold on. So nobody's going to point out that Kamala Harris actually has more experience than Elizabeth Warren? Nobody going to point that out? You're not going to point that out? Did you? I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, well, you're having a conversation. Y'all let me know. Will you have a conversation about with your families about candidates or about politics? Do you just let them say whatever the fuck even though it's inaccurate? Because I don't have those kind of conversations, Jill. I don't have those kind of conversations. Because if you tell me, oh, well, Elizabeth Warren is more qualified and more experienced, and I'm saying, hold up, excuse me, based on what? By white math? Because Elizabeth Warren has 70 years of elected experience in total. And she's 71 years old. Kamala Harris is 55 years old, and she has 16 years elected experience. So, do the math. 7, 16. Which one is better? Elizabeth Warren has 7 years of legislative, and Kamala Harris has 3 years of legislative. So, she does have more legislative experience. However, Elizabeth Warren has no executive experience that she's been elected to. So, on that regard, Kamala Harris has 12 years. Or wait, let me see. Let me do the math. It was 12 years. Okay, right. 12 years. I'm missing a year. Hold on. Okay, 12 years. And then, shit. Let me do it. Okay, Kamala Harris. So, I don't know. The motherfucking point is this. Kamala Harris has been an elected official since 2004. 2004 to 2016, Kamala Harris was an executive. No, Kamala Harris not for Supreme Court Justice. Kamala Harris for VP. So all I'm saying is if you want to make an experience argument, you're going to have to explain to me how Elizabeth Warren, who's passed 10 bills total in her entire legislative career, who's focused almost entirely on banking and Wall Street, has no experience whatsoever in criminal justice or really anything, like I said, outside of banking and Wall Street, is more equipped to handle an executive position than Kamala Harris, who was actually an executive for 12 years. How does that work? Somebody explain the math to me. When Kamala Harris was an executive of the largest State Department of Justice, she had 4,500 employees, about as many employees as Hyundai USA has, twice the number of employees as YouTube. So she knows how to manage employees. She knows how to manage an agency for years, 6 years to be exact. She had an annual operating budget of $800 million. So you mean to tell me a person who has that kind of experience is less qualified? That's some white math. Knock it off. So I would have pushed back on that, but the media doesn't push back on that. In the media, we have the white math media. So 7 years, 7 years, and what is it? 7 years for Warren, and then 16 years for Kamala. That white math, 7 years is more. Okay, then talking about, then apparently before allegedly Aunt Gloria said, oh, well, this time a racial reckoning, then he needs Kamala Harris or a black woman to heal the nation. So she's on Kamala's train. Okay, well, did our racial reckoning get resolved? Last I checked, Breonna Taylor's murderers are still walking free. Only one of them even got fired. We still have new hashtags popping up every day. Elijah McClain. We still have white folks on the lawn of their rich ass mansion pointing guns at protesters walking by. So what racial reckoning have we solved? Did the BET Awards solve our racial reckoning? I'm confused. Doesn't make fucking sense. Aunt Gloria, if you exist. And then when the K-High points out that, well, what happened to Aunt Gloria saying that she supports Kamala Harris? So when he got dragged to hell and back over that, then he wants to be even more shady and even more, trying to be funny by updating his article. And it was just embarrassing. It was absolutely so unprofessional. And I was disgusted by it. So basically you update it and say something that makes absolutely no fucking sense. No sense whatsoever. That Aunt Gloria basically, she said, well, she's going back with Warren because Kamala will be passing the torch and a different generation should be passing the torch. So basically your rationale is you're going to pick a septuagenarian white woman because that's not passing the torch, even though that white woman would be the de facto nominee in 4 years. But that torch passing person should be decided by a younger generation. But you're making your decision and your nephew is broadcasting your decision with the purposes of influencing people's fucking stupid ass opinions. I'm confused how any of this makes any fucking sense. It makes no sense. And then he gonna add this gossipy little bullshit talking about, well, she talked to her 40-year-old cousin and she don't like Kamala Harris. This is what you're printing in the fucking Washington Post. Listen, I'm not gonna use any slurs, but I will say this. Why the fuck have I never been interviewed by the Washington Post or for Politico or for the New York Times? How come none of my tens of thousands of followers have ever been goddamn interviewed? Because we don't sound like Aunt Gloria. We don't sound like Aunt Gloria's cousin. But they don't want my kind of blacks, my kind of blackie, to speak for the black community. They want the rightest white blacks. They want the misinformed blacks. They want the people that get their fucking information from memes, from white supremacist degenerates who are pedophiles that say Kamala is a cop, that are convicted degenerate pedophiles. That's who they want to get their blackie comments from. That's the gag. That's the agenda. But I say all this is to say, listen, if you have an Aunt Gloria in your family chair, can you just challenge her? Can you just challenge your Aunt Gloria, your cousin, whoever the fuck, Tanisha, your Uncle John, whoever? All I want you to just do is just ask them, just challenge their opinion a little bit. They might still stick with their opinion, but I've given y'all tools, the 20 for 2020 20 category checklist ready on day one. It's a cheat sheet. It's a guide on all the shit that anybody can say you would need in the vice president to be qualified, and that's Kamala Harris. And nobody else has that level of depth and receipts. So I want to encourage you, because the media is not going to do it. The media has their agenda. The media has a pro-Warren agenda, or if not a pro-Warren, at least a pro-horse race agenda, which is why in the Washington Post they said that Barbara Lee, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, should be the vice president. And I like and respect Barbara Lee. Barbara Lee hasn't asked to be the VP. She's endorsed Kamala. But, they want to make it a horse race. So they just throw in people, especially now that it says that it's down to 2 to 4 people. But I just really want y'all to have conversations with your family members, because maybe they don't like Kamala. But just because they don't like Kamala doesn't mean that they're right. Maybe they're misinformed. And I believe that a lot of people are misinformed. Okay? And my goal is to get as many people as informed as possible, because she has a good chance of being the VP. Okay? So, come on. Let's bring our people along, Chad. Let's bring our people along. All right, I'm about to read some of your comments. Kenny says, none of my black family from north, the south, east, or the west want Elizabeth Warren. I asked my family, I'm like, have y'all heard anybody that wants Elizabeth Warren to be VP? I haven't heard nobody. Now, I'm obviously pro-Kamala, so maybe they wouldn't admit it to me. But I'm confused. I don't know this groundswell of people that's for Warren when she got 5 to 7% of the black vote in the primary. She was on the ballot. Y'all was sitting up there writing article after article for months about how Elizabeth Warren had all this black support, and she got 5% of the black vote in South Carolina. On Super Tuesday, she got 5 to 7% of the black vote, and it was really a 4-person race. So where's all this black support? Where is that at? I haven't seen it. She didn't get black people to come to her events unless she was paying for it. All right, let me see what y'all talking about. Mary Foster says, I see people push supporting Warren because they want her to push the far left agenda, which has been rejected by voters. They want her to take over from Biden. But here's the thing. She's not going to do that. Were y'all not watching the same campaign that I was watching? Remember my Warren 2.0, Warren 3.0? Warren isn't this principled ideologue that people like to present her as. Remember, she was a Republican for the first 47 years of her life. And then to fit in when she moved to Boston to work for Harvard, then all of a sudden she became a Democrat. And she couldn't explain why she was a Republican. If you ask me, she lied about it. If you believe her homegirl, she lied about it, because her homegirl said she was a staunch Republican. But then when she was on The Breakfast Club and Charlamagne asked her, or Angela Yee asked her why she was Republican, she didn't have a fucking answer. I don't know. So she's not an ideologue. She's really not. She flip-flopped on Medicare for all several times. By the end of the goddamn campaign, she was calling for Joe Biden's plan. She was talking about a public option, and then at the end of the first 4 years, Medicare for all. So I'm confused as to where this purity test is. She was for big money before she was against it, and then she was back for it when her ass was taking out a $3 million line of credit to keep her campaign afloat. Then she was all rah rah for one donor, a very rich doctor, donating $14 million to her super PAC, Persist PAC, that she was the only goddamn beneficiary of. So this whole notion of her as being some sort of ideologue, she flip flop on her identity, she flip flop on her ideology, whatever suits her needs. So anybody that thinks that she's gonna get up there and just run all over Biden is fucking delusional. Okay, they haven't been paying attention. That's my opinion. Phantom Bullshit says, all this talk about Warren's Black Support. Meanwhile, I don't know a single family member sees it. I don't know. I haven't seen them. I haven't run across them. Let's see. Barbara is 74 years old. Yeah. I love Congresswoman Lee. I think she still, is very youthful. But come on. We definitely need somebody younger, which is Kamala, on that ticket. Somebody younger, but somebody who has the experience. Homegirl was outperformed by Pete and SC. 0% Pete. I mean, come on, y'all. Exactly. She was in 5th place in South Carolina, the black state. Where was all her black support? If she had black support, she wouldn't have been in 5th. Do you think K-Part is influenced by the people at MSNBC? I think that he's influenced by the white man's ice is colder, the white woman's ice is colder. I think he's influenced by what his paper wants to see. I think that people get clicks off of pushing Elizabeth Warren. And, especially white liberals are a very, very big demographic for the Washington Post and for the New York Times. So that's what I think. I've heard Abrams and Bottoms, but not Warren. Yeah, that seems like Abrams and Bottoms is more popular in the South. Even though it don't really show up too much in the polling, but that's fine. So you really, really think BM are going to be the target for GOP thoughts? I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to by that. Let's see. Kamala's the most progressive woman in the Senate and in the whole entire Congress period. People just don't want to acknowledge that, which is crazy. The same folks who said Bernie was the only way we could beat Trump are now saying the same about Liz. Sheila says, I know one for Warren. All my people are for Senator Harris, period. Okay. My white family, Elizabeth says, my family, even Bernie supporters, were fine with Harris for prez. Lost her home state. Okay, anything else? Let me see. I might wrap it up early today, y'all. Rachel Bittercoffer has interviewed all of our Redditors and black people prefer Warren. They're on my 4th to last nerve. Well, she's saying that shit again today. It's really interesting to me that the Warren people live by the polls, but now the way that they're doing, and this is the power again of the media and being disingenuous and gaslighting, because the polls that they want to use are all old polls that show Elizabeth Warren ahead of Kamala, because obviously she had $141 million to spend on her campaign. That was very much a successful campaign that lost 19 out of 19 races. But now the data in June looks more favorable to Kamala, but they don't ever want to reference June data. Isn't that interesting? All right. Apparently Kenny did a video that was dragging somebody. I didn't see it yet. Kenny, I have to go back and watch. I like Warren, but she doesn't bring anything to the table that Kamala also doesn't bring. Listen, I wouldn't even be that hard on Warren if it weren't for people who just make her out to be motherfucking Harriet Tubman of black people. That's what kills me. It's like, okay, then you want to sit up there and drag Kamala. Come on. Tampa Bay surveyed 100 Dem operatives in Florida who will be VP, Kamala at 53%. Right. I saw that. How do we feel about Susan Rice? My feelings about Susan Rice is that Kamala Harris needs to be the VP. That's my feeling. Her ground game on SC was trash. She didn't even compete in SC. She parachuted a bunch of black people out from outside of South Carolina to go to barbershops and have conversations about Elizabeth Warren. And it didn't work. Are you trying to hit Cy Smith notes? I cannot compete with Cy Smith, chill. Samuel says, what's up, my people, aka the blacks? Yes. True says, I just don't believe Joe will give her a chance, Reese, because he's spared. Are you talking about Kamala? I don't vouch for anybody. I don't vouch for the whitest right Democratic Party, the back of the bus primary, the back of the bus election. I don't vouch for that. I would be very naive if I sat up here and said that I have faith or confidence that a merit-based decision will be what drives the VP choice. I would be completely full of shit if I said that there is no chance that Kamala isn't picked, because we have a white is right problem, including from some black people like Aunt Gloria in the Democratic Party. And it's very unfortunate. We have a white woman's ISIS colder problem in the Democratic Party. We have a white man's ISIS colder problem in the Democratic Party. So you have to always make provisions and understand that that could be what wins. Not for merit, but just because of people's fucked up racist perceptions. But that's not going to stop me from advocating as hard as I can and until the decision is made for Kamala. Bernie Sanders and Warren are lazy lawmakers in Congress. Where is Sanders? Is he okay? Has his people checked on him? Yeah. I don't know how people talk about Biden is in the bunker, and I'm not defending Biden, but I ain't heard or seen shit from goddamn Bernie. The Sahil Kapoor black Democrats want Warren peace pissed me off. They found one guy who was a Bernie bro to say something, and they used old ass Poland. Yeah. But here's the thing. So this is the thing. Regardless of what people like to push the narrative, reality smacks you in the face, because I think you guys can recall very clearly all of the pieces about how Elizabeth Warren, black women love Elizabeth Warren, black women support Elizabeth Warren. Oh, they were so pro Elizabeth Warren, and Elizabeth Warren got 5% of the black vote. So just because the black woman, the intelligentsias, the blue chicks that have access to these journalists who don't know black people outside of the black people they interact with on Twitter, say they liked Warren, that did not bear out with the facts. The facts are the blacks didn't vote for Elizabeth Warren when she was on the ballot. That's a fact, Jack. Now you want to talk about the blacks. And the facts are now, according to the polling, the blacks aren't with Elizabeth Warren anymore. They've seen enough from Kamala. Now they like Kamala. Hello? EB always says, how was the cook-off? Hey, Caesar, my sister's in the chat. I'm not going to talk about my sister, y'all, how disappointed she was with her performance. I thought she did an excellent job. My hair is coming off, shit. I need to put some oil in my hair. Anyway, but the cook-off was fun. I think my husband should have won, but you cannot compete with the pool, okay? We do not have a pool, so we cannot compete with that. Let's see. Not just here for the comments, too. Can we get Rachel Dolezal back, replaced with black blue check? She at least rep for black people. Nah, cancel all of them, including Rachel. Hello. When is Elizabeth Biden's dance party going to happen? Listen, I'm going to be mad as fuck if they set up there and use a Kamala to do all this fucking leg work and heavy lifting and shit, and then they go pick somebody else who ain't done nary bit of shit. I'm going to be fire hot about that. Robin says, I've always told people that white progressives have their own agenda and it doesn't include us. Is that the motherfucking truth? Woo! Okay, Jose, he found the link I was looking for. Thank you, Jose. I'm gonna go ahead and I need that link. I'm a diehard progressive and Kamala Harris must be VP. Thank you, King De La Horse. I agree. Charles Cobb says K Park's boyfriend wrote that BS. I honestly believe, Alexandria says, I honestly believe people straight up ignore the facts about Kamala because it seems trending to do so. I agree, which is why I don't think that the hostility that there is, and be clear, the hostility is vastly, vastly overstated because if you look at the polling, you look at the unfavorables, Kamala Harris actually has lower unfavorables than Elizabeth Warren, truth be told, when it comes to the blacks. So, why I got this piece of hair? What is going on here? Y'all see this shit? Anyway, I'm distracted from my hair. If you look at the polls, Kamala Harris does not have high unfavorables. She does not have disproportionately higher unfavorables. There is probably, let's say, 12% of black people that don't like nobody. Okay? They don't like nobody. And then you have plus or minus the percent of black people that don't like people based on whatever the fuck that is that they hear on Twitter. So that gets you to anywhere between 12 to 16, 18% unfavorables, okay? So again, if you look at the data, there's this whole notion that there's this groundswell of resistance against Kamala Harris. It's bullshit. Her unfavorables are no higher than anybody else's, okay? So quit lying. But it is more trendy, yes, to be woke, super woke. But unfortunately, the wokest ones are the most sleep. Unfortunately. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna bring up a few little tidbits, and then I'm gonna hop up. Mary Foster, people keep bringing up the one debate moment about busting as a reason Biden will not choose her, but never mention Warren saying Biden doesn't belong in Dem primaries. Well, that's because it's the back of the bus primary. So it's okay for a white woman to insult the fuck out of a white man, but it's not okay for Kamala's black ass to have accurately pointed out her experience with busing. It's not okay. Let's see. Robert says, could you be considered for VP? Who are you talking about? Robert, I feel like I done cussed you out before. Or is that a different Robert? Are you behaving, Robert, today? I'm trying to figure it out. You know, some people be coming back, child, or some people have similar names. Let's see. Yeah, I made some of y'all moderators just because people be acting up in these comments, child, and I cannot edit. I can't moderate while I'm doing this. Let's see. True. Tell me who has a black agenda. Well, you can go to my Medium post and read all about it because I've said it before. We had Live with the K-Hive on the black agenda. So if you're interested in the facts, then go ahead and get the facts. Okay? All right, let me give y'all just a couple more tidbits. Hey, TT, I see you in the comments, girl. Let me give you a couple more facts. Don't hate, congratulate. What's up? Because I tweeted some things today I want to highlight. Okay, so today ACLU talked about what's my lipstick color. I have this Vivid Maybelline. What is this? Orchid Shock. It's very purple. Lisa says if Harris isn't picked, who is my number two? Ain't no number two. It's number one and only one. One of one. Hey TJ. Okay, so let me say some things that I highlighted. If you didn't see my Twitter today, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. But y'all keep commenting and I'll comment on anything else. So ACLU today says 6 million students are in schools with cops but no school psychologists. So I just wanted to remind y'all, hey Aretha, that Kamala Harris during the campaign proposed putting a nurse and social worker in every school. Hey SJO. As DA, Kamala also launched the first on-site trauma therapy for kids, okay? And she helped found the Center for Youth Wellness. That was also work that she did as DA going into her time as Attorney General. And as Attorney General, she founded the Bureau of Children's Justice. So when people talk about the defund the police arguments, Kamala Harris was actually making these arguments during the campaign. She's been making these arguments for decades now. Putting a social worker and a nurse in school is essentially a defund the police argument. It's saying that when you're dealing with behavioral issues, right? It may not be that they're a bad child, as she said in the video. You guys go look at the tweet. It could be that they have a hearing problem, so they're lashing out because they cannot, they don't know how to articulate that they can't hear, or they're dyslexic, or whatever the situation may be. Hey, Alex, how you doing? I haven't seen you, Elizabeth. So I wanted to point that out. That was really good. I think that more than anybody, Kamala Harris really has the credibility to make a defund the police argument in a way that can resonate with everybody. there are going to be some people who are hell bent on the slogan or the hashtag, but people who actually care about the objective of reallocating resources to where they're needed. Kamala Harris has the most credibility to make that argument. Elizabeth says, "I love her work in restorative justice, especially with the kids." Yes, in that credentials, not cosmetics piece, I talked about her work with restorative justice with the community court. So go check that out if you missed my live on Friday. I talked about that, and I had that in the Medium piece. Another thing I wanted to mention today was the SCOTUS ruling that upheld abortion rights, which was awesome. And, you know, a lot of stuff is going around about how Susan Collins says that she believed Brett Kavanaugh when he said that, you know, he was going to uphold precedent. And actually, on the Senate floor, she gave a speech talking about how Brett went a step above and beyond to further basically commit to upholding precedent. Kamala saw right through that. Okay, so there's a clip that I retweeted out today. Maya retweeted, a bunch of people have retweeted out today with her questioning Brett Kavanaugh on that very thing about precedent, and basically getting him to admit that precedent can be overturned with 5 votes. It's just that simple. And so that was his way of kind of wiggling around it. Susan fell for the okie doke, or at least she played like she fell for the okie doke. But guess what? Listen to Black woman. Okay. I also want to mention that, this is something I really, really, really want to mention and really highlight to you guys, because it's something that really does not get highlighted enough. And this is what I want you to tell people, okay? When people talk about civil rights, absurdly, some people try to claim that that Elizabeth Warren has more of a record on civil rights. Well, I've demonstrated to you guys. We went through one of my lives. She has never introduced even one single solitary piece of legislation on civil rights, ever. That's Elizabeth Warren. But I did think this was very interesting. And here's a fun fact for you, and then I'm going to read the comments and close out, okay? Kamala Harris sits on the Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on the Constitution. That's right, the Constitution, y'all. A lot of people don't understand how significant it is that Senator Kamala Harris is on the Judiciary Committee, number one. A lot of people don't understand the breadth of her experience, for two. And I'm sure that when you think about a Black woman and our qualifications, we're always looked at as the cosmetics, always looked at as a symbolism, not as people who are deeply knowledgeable about things like the Constitution, knowledgeable about things like precedent, knowledgeable about things like Kamala Harris has submitted amicus briefs, and for instance, in Prop 8, which she was instrumental at, today and tomorrow, last day of Pride. I want to mention that. I'm going to circle back around to that. But let me just explain to you what this subcommittee on the judiciary of the Constitution does. Okay, so it does this. It has jurisdiction over constitutional amendments, enforcement and protection of constitutional rights, statutory guarantees of civil rights and civil liberties, separation of powers. So that was a thing that came up in the Supreme Court ruling against the Consumer Financial Protections Bureau, Elizabeth Warren's bureau, about it violating the separation of powers. Federal-state relations, interstate compacts, human rights laws and practices, and enforcement and implementation of human rights laws. So I'm going to be adding that to the credentials and not cosmetics. I'm going to be adding that image in there because I think it's really important to understand that's just one of the committees and subcommittees that Senator Kamala Harris sits on. So I think it's really important. And then the last thing I want to point out is that yesterday was the 7th anniversary of the first marriages that occurred after Prop 8, was ruled on. It was shut down by the Supreme Court. Senator Kamala Harris, then she was Attorney General. She was very instrumental in that case. And I'm going to just repeat for y'all who don't know. Basically, the way that the Supreme Court decision was ruled was that basically the plaintiffs were the couples that wanted to get married. The defendants were the people who, so they were suing to prevent the law, right? So Prop 8 passed, and it was a law, and Kamala Harris ran against enforcing that law and against defending it. So the plaintiffs are the couples that wanted to get married but couldn't because of Prop 8. So they have standing. They've been injured. And then you have the defendants. So the defendants were the people who supported Prop 8. Well, because Senator Kamala Harris, then AG at the time, refused to defend the law, refused to be a defendant in that case, the Supreme Court ruled that the actual defendants did not have standing to defend, did not have standing on behalf of the state of California to defend Prop 8. Okay, so the only person that would have had standing on behalf of California is the Attorney General, Kamala Harris, who did not defend the law. So that's how Proposition 8 was ruled, that they did not have standing. And the reason why they did not have standing is because Kamala Harris did not join that lawsuit. That is a very, very, very critical thing to know. So 7 years ago, Kamala Harris officiated the wedding of a couple, one couple that was a part of that lawsuit, and she actually got on the phone and greenlit the wedding of another couple, or greenlit the marriage licenses. The county clerk in Los Angeles, she instructed them that they must begin the marriages immediately. So I just wanted you to understand that history that Kamala Harris played in Proposition 8 and gay marriage, and her stance was very instrumental in that. And so when I talk about receipts, and when I talk about receipts versus rhetoric, when I talk about credentials, not cosmetics, these are all the things that I want you guys to just understand and realize, because it matters. It matters. And I know that people want to minimize it because she's a black woman, and they wanted to make it seem, and they want to diminish her. But she was very instrumental in changing the course of history. She was. So if you guys get a chance, go to her page and look at those videos. It's very beautiful. Happy Pride to those of you out there celebrating. We all are celebrating, I think, but happy Pride to everybody out there. And yeah, Tony says she walked to the courthouse with her staff to perform the first ceremony. Yeah, actually somebody said she ran across the lawn, took off her heels and ran across the lawn. So I'm going to leave you on that positive note. And yeah, y'all have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. And tomorrow is Greenleaf. So if y'all watching Greenleaf, come holler at me, my sister Season, after Greenleaf, about 10:15, after it goes off. We'll recap Greenleaf. Y'all helped us out a lot last time because we were so confused about what the hell was going on. So come on ahead and check us out. Roland Martin comes on at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm not on tonight. I'm on Thursdays. But check them out anyways. Get your black media. Get your black news. And I will holler at you later. Bye.